Greetings from the apocalypse. So last week in the studio, we've had a lot of people working on chains lately. And one of my students, Beth, was really having trouble getting her links to fuse properly. And she just was having, some difficulties. So she asked me for sort of, a soup to nuts. Can we go over like making the links, butting them together, fusing them shut so that I can see what the issues are along the way? And I said, sure. So today I'll show you the first part of that process about butting them together and getting them ready to fuse. So we're talking about making links for a quadruple chain. So Beth was asking for like a few little tips about how do you get them really butted together nice and how do you fuse them. So she's made some great progress already, but we've got another batch here all cut and ready to go. So what I do, I'm right-handed, so I use a small pair of chain nose pliers. I hold the link in my left hand, and I grab the right side like this, and just go past the seam a couple times. That creates a little bit of tension. And then I line them up, and then I usually give them a little squeeze. Okay, like that. Now, if you look at that, it's very hard to see where the seam is, and it should be difficult to see it. If you can very easily see where the seam is, you have not yet succeeded. So then there's one more, the seam is right here, by the way. So there's one more step we have to complete before we fuse, which is usually I take the end of a dowel and gently press. If there's any, it doesn't matter if this is round, it just matters if the seam is together. But if any part of this is up, that part is going to heat much faster than the rest of it, and you'll be much more likely to get, those little lumps. Then that's what, remember, if you get a thick spot, that means you have a thin spot somewhere else, and that's what makes your link usually eventually break. So you always have to flatten. That's why usually I just have a big dowel sitting right here, and I just do it right on here. It doesn't need to be like on a steel block or anything major. I mean, these are fine silver links. They don't require that much violence. So let me do a couple more.
So even that point is okay.
This?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not up in the air. It's really just about the ends coming together really well and the whole link laying flat. It's just extremely difficult to control the heat if the link isn't flat.
Genius to use the dowel.
I use dowels for everything. It's amazing how indispensable basically a wood stick is. I mean, literally I feel like almost anything at my bench, if you took away my dowels, I'm just like, forget it, I'm out. I'm gonna go drinking. Like, this is no good. And you notice also...
You mean you wait till then to start drinking?
Sometimes after, sometimes before. It just depends on the point of view. Okay. So you see, just like that. And remember, these are not really thick or hard little jump rings. So don't squeeze them so hard. You don't need to use your kung fu power on these little guys. I'm gonna go ring the doorbell, boop, and I'll be right back.